How's everyone doing today? Come on. You guys, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for being here, taking the time, taking the energy. I want to admire the fact that the most important resource we have is our time. And when we're taking initiative, stepping into a creative and curious mindset, we're here to learn and learn together. So without further ado, I'd like to just maybe give a round of applause to Anna for being here with me. We're going to be talking a little bit about integrity and governance in the metaverse. And maybe you can share a little bit about who you are, what you're up to, and how you're curating in the real world today.
Thank you, Eric, and great to see everybody here, and great to be at this conference. My name is Anna Tutova. I'm CEO of Coinstelegram, and we have a group of media companies. It's a news website, YouTube channel, and PR marketing agencies. We help with the projects in the industry, crypto, gaming, NFT, Metaverse projects with the promotion. We help with the publications in media, with influencers and social media campaigns. And additionally, I'm partnered at a fintech company called KYC Pay, and we help to bridge the worlds of Web 2 and Web 3. So we help with opening of bank accounts, setting up payment gateways, and licensing globally.
Shall we have a seat?
Yeah, let's start.
Who's excited? Put your hands together. Come on. Woo! Amazing. So, everybody, you know, it's interesting. We're in a panel or a fireside chat today on integrity and influence, and 4 panel members didn't show up. That's really interesting. Focusing on integrity, putting your word and your intention, and all of a sudden, there's people that aren't here. So, where does this show up? When it comes to integrity, what are we doing in one area of our life, and how are we showing up in other areas of our life? And so I think that this is something to say and take real truth and initiative of the way that we do one thing is the way that we oftentimes do everything. Okay? So moving forward, I would love to know, in your words, Anna, and your brilliance and what you're up to in the world, how do you see... You know, we know Paul and what he said about gaming and the importance of how gaming brings that to Web3 and the metaverse. But in your own words, what is Web3 and metaverse, and how do they differentiate?
Yeah, so let's begin from the explanation what Web3 is. So we used to have Web 1 with the beginning of the internet, and it was read-only. Then there appeared Web 2, so people could not only read something on the internet, but they could create something. So Web 2 appeared, and it's read and write. So we see different social media started, like Facebook, Twitter, different chats, and etc. But the case is that with Web 2, the users can create the content, and they are the pushers of those websites or those social media, but they don't get anything from that. And they are contributors to the owners of those Web 2 sources. And then later, with the beginning of crypto, there started trends of decentralization, and appearance of different dApps, and we see as well now additionally a big trend of decentralized social media these days. So Web3, it's the empowerment of the users, and where the users as well can own this economy. So users can be incentivized, for example, in tokens, and they can be rewarded for their activity. So we users become as well the owners of the internet, this decentralized world. When it comes to metaverse, I guess not really.
So hold on a second. Do you think that Web3 is really focused on like really bringing crypto to it? Is this just, this is what I heard, I just want to make sure. So is there a focal point with Web3? Because I really believe that Web3 is still in the creation, right, phase, where I would say we're still in like Web 2.1, Web 2.2. So when it comes to Web3, I personally am trying to understand, it's more of a collaborative, a collective consciousness or an awareness if we get there, but and bringing maybe crypto and blockchain to the space, yes, and really enhancing that with through blockchain tech and AI and immersive. But then on top of that, you believe that it is already there? Am I understanding that correctly?
No, I just was generally explaining what Web3 means for me, and I consider it the empowerment of the average users and giving ownership to the internet users. And Web3 is still very early. It's in the very early stage. It's in the beginning. The same with crypto. And like we saw during the bull market, a lot of people who didn't even hear about crypto before got into this industry, mostly from the speculative point of view. And as well, like NFTs was another, non-fungible tokens was another thing, which brought a lot of new users to our industry. But we are still in extremely early stages, and this is some kind of an experiment for me. And well, we will see in 10, 20 years what will really happen.
I agree. I think it's an immersive awakening, but I think there's an amazing teacher, Peter Drucker. He's amazing in business. He talked about two big things that are necessary and real focused when it comes to growing a business, and especially when it comes to the metaverse. I think that this is something that really is along the lines of integrity, is innovation and marketing. So as a marketer, today with the metaverse and the importance of really having balance of marketing and innovating the product, how do we make sure that founders, funds, projects are feeling like they're getting a tangible benefit when they invest into the metaverse and its marketing?
Well, let's start to define what actually Metaverse is, like with your previous question. I can say that people haven't like a common agreement what Metaverse is, and for different people it means different stuff. So first, this word was used in the novel Snow Crash by Stefan Nielsen in 1992, and Metaverse was some kind of another VR world where people could escape to dystopia, to another world. So basically, it's like a mixture of and a combination of virtual reality, extended reality, and mixed reality. But what we see now, like because of this big trend and like this is some kind of PR word, everybody uses Metaverse now. Almost every second, and mostly it's just either gaming or social media with some like additional features. When it comes to when it comes to the marketing of Metaverse, we see as well a lot of big brands getting into Metaverse to somehow engage more their community, to have a new experience with their customers. But I think for now it's too early. Like, almost nobody would go to Metaverse to buy some stuff. It's either kids who really like sitting in front of their computers, and like much younger generation who like to experience this stuff, or people who are really very into crypto, gaming, and Metaverse. Otherwise, Metaverse for me is just a big thing for getting all these PRs. Like we saw HCBC opened office in Metaverse and Sandbox. As well, Dubai, Ministry of Economy opened their office in the Metaverse. Virtual Asset Regulation Authority as well got their office in Sandbox. Or Barbados got their first embassy in the Metaverse. So these are just for the headlines. So, for example, Nike increase their sales in the Metaverse, so Dolce & Gabbana makes as well, Gucci, all these Balenciaga, all these big brands making sales or shows in the Metaverse. This is, for me, more a PR stunt rather than something real.
So it's PR?
For me, yeah.
Okay, so do you think that has an association of what Web 2 giants that are really stepping into then Web 3, like Meta and Microsoft, that was really beautifully said earlier, and how they've governed in the past or what they've utilized with data, how are we going to make sure that the integrity continues to be well governed, really focusing on not repeating those old patterns, that Meta, Facebook, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg, that have done in the past, and allowing to lead forward with a disrupted sense as a force for good, rather than just creating new PR, having new followers, moving from Web 2 to Web 3 to Meta, Metaverse, even like changing the name to Meta was a preemptive understanding of saying, hey, like we're taking over the space, but what have they done as a force for good in the past so that they can continue, have that integrity and that deep internal governance moving forward?
So when it comes to integrity and governance, I think the same laws, the same legislation should be applied as to laws of internet and cybersecurity. And of course, in the metaverse, a lot of people try to be anonymous, like the same as with crypto. You can get some avatar, like do something, and nobody can go after you. So that's the case, but in case with the internet, for example, your smart contract can be blocked somehow. Your wallet may be frozen if you do something wrong. But generally, for regulations, like even there was started recently, like Interpol police for the metaverse. So basically, the same cybersecurity laws can be applied as for me.
I love it. One last question before we get off stage here. I think that there's an important part of principles. And when it comes to really making sure that we are creating from this place of high value and high integrity and high levels of influence, what would you say quickly are your top 2 key principles that lead your life, and how do you implement those principles daily into your habits, into your work? And what are some ways that we can contribute those to the metaverse?
Do you mean like life principles?
I think life and business can be an extension. If we understand that our reality is just an extension of everything that we do, our highest level of value can be attached to everything, because every moment is an opportunity to step into that level of integrity.
Well, when it comes to the values, I think it doesn't matter. Either it's in real life or it's on the internet. And so when it comes to the metaverse, it's for now, like nobody really uses like to that level of mass adoption, like VR glasses or mixed reality or extended reality, like with different data sensors and so on. So just generally, it's like the values of doing something good, not harass other people on the internet, just like common moral values which you apply with your behavior on the internet. The same, like maybe in 20, 30 years, we'll see much more stuff, like everybody would have more immersive experience with all these VR headsets and different equipment, and like you can feel the same as like you're in that or this environment, and you're just, for example, sitting at home. But when it comes to values, I guess they're the same as in the normal life.
Thank you so much. You guys give it a round of applause. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate you guys. All the best.